Hey everyone, so at this point you have 5 different lines. They are all different colors, all different weights, and you have one dashed line, and I want you to have one that also uses the round end cap. All right, now we're going to continue modifying our lines. So far we've used the selection tool to see that it creates a blue box around it to know that we've selected it. So when we do click on this, we can see that blue box, and right next to, and that just allows us to move our selection around. We can duplicate it if we use Alt, that kind of stuff. Right next to the selection tool is the direct selection tool, and the direct selection tool is the white arrow. And this allows us to modify our line more specifically. So I'm going to do Control plus to zoom in. You can see that when I've just clicked on the direct selection tool, it's going to select the line. It's going to show me my two anchor points are blue right now. And when I click on one of those anchor points, it's going to keep it blue, and it's going to make the other one white. So the one that I've clicked on is the one that I've selected. It's going to be blue. The other one is there. So now what I can do is click on this, and I can move it around. So I can make it shorter. I can have it change place. So it gives me options that way. You can do this just by clicking specifically on the anchor point. You can just highlight over it, and you can see it'll select the area. If I want to select the entire line, I can either click on it. Notice that when I overlap this line, though, it also selected that, so it's selecting two things. So another option besides highlighting it is to click on it, click on one anchor, hold Shift, and click on the other anchor, and now they're both selected that way. Then I can still use the direct selection tool to move this around. So the points that we see are called anchor points, and we're going to work with these a lot in Illustrator. So what I want you to do now is move your the angle of your lines around, as well as the size of them. So click on one point, drag it around, click on another one. I'm going to click on the end, make this one a little bit smaller. If I just click on this one, I can just move it around. And then I'll go to my other one over here. And I want these to overlap. So I'm going to put it there, and then I'm going to click on the other end this time, and I can kind of move it around. Okay? Now that you have 5 lines overlapping on top of each other, we're going to start to arrange these lines. So you'll notice that they are layered in stacking order. Okay, so this is depending on the order that you made them. So my first green line is underneath all of them. My last line that I made is this orange one, and it's on top. So you can change the line order. So what I want you to do is click on one of yours, go to Object, go down to Arrange, and you can either do bring to front if it's behind something, or bring send to the back. Okay, so you can see it brought it all the way behind. So I'm going to click on another one, and this one right now is underneath one of my lines, so I can do Object, Arrange, bring to front. And you can see there's a keyboard shortcut, Shift Control J, and then the bracket key if you'd like to use that. Okay, now we're going to learn about grouping our different objects. So sometimes you'll create something, and then it'll become one thing, so you want to group it together. So to do that, we're going to select all of our lines, and the easiest way to do that is just to click and drag, and this is going to highlight all of our lines automatically. You could, click on one, hold Shift, click on another. It's just going to take you longer. Okay, so I'm holding Shift, and then I can select these, but just clicking and dragging is going to be a quick way to grab them all. Then from here, I'm going to go up to my menu bar. I'm going to click on Object, and I'm going to go to Group. Now you can see that Illustrator sees this all as one group. Okay, so one object essentially. So then if I did my Alt-click Shift, it duplicates the entire thing. Okay, I'm going to do Control Z to undo that. Now I want you to make another line that's close to the group but separate. So we're going to go to the pen tool, click once, click again. You can see it's taking my defaults. So I'm just going to go to the color over here. I'm going to choose a new color so I can see that it stands out. And then with this, same thing. We can go to Selection Tool. I can either select all of this at once to select it all, or I can click on this one, hold Shift, and select it as well. And then same thing, I can do Object, Group, and it becomes part of it. If you don't want to have them all together, again, and you want to ungroup, same thing. I'm just going to click on it, do Object, and ungroup. Okay, I'm going to group these together one more time, and I want to show you one more thing you might encounter. I'm going to do Object Group. Okay, so right now it's all one. Let's say you go to one of your lines and you want to modify this one and you double click on it. This is going to bring you into isolation mode. Okay, so it can be kind of confusing. If you start to want to do something else and it won't let you, it's because you're in isolation mode. So to get out of that, you either need to do the back arrow here, or you can double click anywhere on your document and it takes you out of that.